You can hear and see me. Right, I don't know how you can say hi already because we've only just gone live and you seem to have said hi before, but hi. Uh, but if you could just pop in the comments that you can see and hear me quite clearly, because apparently people couldn't hear me last week, so I just need that to be confirmed. Hope you've had a good week, everybody. It's been quite busy, and Russ is with us now, so all good.
We are saying we're live. We are saying we're live.
Does say we're live. It definitely says we're live.
Right, let's get the book ready. Hello, everybody. Just waiting. I can hear an echo. Must be mine.
Oh yeah, there's people all loud and clear over.
All right. Ouch. 1, 2, and 2. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Just bear with us a minute. Right, we do this and do that. Right, are we ready?
I'm ready. Ready.
Let's go.
Representative of the city, I order you to cease any and all supernatural activity and return forthwith to your place of origin or to the nearest convenient parallel dimension.
Whoa. Just hold up 1 minute there. It's not who you're going to call, but it's who you're going to listen to. And if you ain't afraid of no ghost, stay tuned for the EGH Paranormal Talk Show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the EGH Paranormal Talk Show live. Oh, I've got a
Live and exclusive.
I'm so
Coffee.
sorry. Oh, something went down the back of my throat. Just as I went, good evening, everybody. Sorry about the coughing fit before. We are live and we are exclusive on Pulse Talk Radio. Well, something didn't want me to get me words out, did it?
Probably that fly I got rid of earlier.
Yeah, well, don't send it my way, whatever you do. Oh, I do apologise, everybody, for that. I do. It's Friday the 29th. It's Friday the 29th. Welcome. I don't know if you've seen, I've just gone up there. I've just gone up to the house, the main house, and Mum's gone, have you seen that moon out there? Have you seen the moon?
I haven't actually.
Well, I'm not going to say what I think. It don't look real, but that's for another. It looks absolutely, it looks beautiful in all its glory out there. Yeah, it looks like it's a full moon. Does look like it's a full moon out there, and it's very low in the sky. Very low.
That's like that moon last week.
Yeah, but it's not orangey. Yeah, Sandra said the moon is huge and lovely.
Yeah, when I moon Sandra, it's huge and lovely.
Welcome once again to the EGH Paranormal Talk Show. Welcome to all our listeners over on Pulse Talk Radio. I hope you can I can't get my words out tonight. I hope you can hear us all loud and clear. I hope it's going and it's broadcasting. It might not be, and it might be. Who knows? But if you are listening on Pulse Talk Radio and you want to pop over and see us and see what we look like, we are live broadcasting. We're simultaneous broadcasting over on Facebook, and we are also simulcasting over on YouTube as well. Both are under the Essex Ghost Hunters logo and social media bracket. So just have a look for Essex Ghost Hunters and you'll see us all live and exclusive broadcasting as we do the EGH Paranormal Talk Show. I do need a massive favor from you all, though. I do need to say I need help. We need massive help. We need to be able to go live on TikTok. We are now 51 followers away. 51. Okay, so I need your help. So please go and follow us on TikTok. Okay, we need 51, and I'd love to do it before the end of the show because I would go live just to see if we could go live to try and all tally in. But everybody, you know, if you want to say hi, obviously you can put on the Facebook chat or the YouTube chat. If you're a member, you can give us that. You can, you know, just put your comments and all that in the chat bar down the side. You can contact us on info@Essex Ghost Hunters, or you can give us a call or a WhatsApp or a text on 07 487 331 688 if you want to be brave. Look, the phone is here. It's ready to take your calls. So I should leave that there. It should all be connected. It is connected. Let's see who's in the chat. We've got the lovely Ryan that is in the chat. We've got Marianne Dixon in the chat. We've got Kim in the chat. We've got Stephanie Coulson in the chat. Sandra Arnold is in the chat. We've got Mr. Downs is in the chat.
Yeah, hello, mate.
What are we going to talk about tonight? Joe, come on. Why are you asking that question? Seriously, do you really think I've got anything planned?
I have.
Well, there you go. One of us has.
What am I going to talk about tonight? Whether houses hold energies.
Interesting. Dean, I haven't seen that name before. Have I seen that name before?
Yeah, we have. Yes.
Have we?
Been in the shop.
Has he? Oh, evening, Dean. Welcome. Sorry, I do apologise. I suppose it's just a new picture. Sometimes the pictures, I'm assuming, that throw me out more than anything. So I'm used to all the pictures coming up rather than anything else. So we have got a topic. Is there any news this week? Have we got any news? So guys, over the next 2 weeks, it'll either be next week's show or the following week's show. We will be doing a big reveal show for the 2024 events for next year.
Well, me and Kim saw a wonderful site on Monday that we are going to do, but I'm not going to tell you till we reveal it. But
is all we can tell you, it can take 400 people.
Yes, I can tell you that. But Kim will tell you. She's in the chat. My God.
See, look, he must be new.
Oh, okay. I've seen. Where have I seen Dean before then? Sure, I've seen him on here before, but okay.
It might be another Dean. But welcome to the show, Dean. Lovely to have you along. Heidi is in the chat as well.
Hi, Heidi.
Hope you are doing well, Heidi. We've got this is our international listener.
Yes.
All the way from Denmark. So this is our international listener of the day today. So Matt is
Hi, Matt. Hope you're doing well, mate.
We've got a lot of team members in the chat tonight, which is good.
Yes,
a lot of team members in the chat tonight. You know, and former team members as well. So it's quite good. Quite good. So, and we've got quite a nice lot of viewers in there as well. So it'd be nice if you can share. Sharing is caring. If you can share it on Facebook. Wendy is in the chat as well. So
hi, Wendy.
We've got a lot of people in there tonight, and that's not including the millions and millions and millions of listeners over on Pulse Talk as well. Jay's listening too. How good is this? Can't wait for Landguard Fault next week, isn't it? Next week?
Yeah. Yeah,
Must be. 7th next week.
Yes.
Down to Landguard. Paul Wells is in the chat as well.
Hi,
a lot of people saying hello tonight. This is great. This is absolutely great. Well, we do have a subject, but is what I want from you tonight, guys, as well, is to give us some questions as well. Yeah. Okay. So we will start off with a topic, and we will put, we want your questions, because the show really helps with your questions. So a whoop whoop from Paul as well. Whoop whoop whoop. So Simon, what is the question? Obviously, you've been doing something to be asking this question.
No, I just started to watch. To listen to Uncanny again, and I went through some early episodes, and I caught up some other ones, and that's how it all started this week. Which I should never do, because that gets my mind racing, and I get onto topics, and then I'm away, and then the question came to me. Well, the cases that I've listened to, a lot of the cases I've listened to, and a lot of other things I've heard, it's like people go into a house, they have this horrible experience, like the Conjuring, the Enfield, the Battersea, loads on Uncanny, and yet when they leave the house, it all seems to clear up and be, life changes for them, right? And I think I have lived in a house that did it to me. I do. I'm not going to mention the house because it's still there, so that wouldn't be fair to the people living in there now. But I do believe I've been in a house, and I just got to read some articles, and I was reading an article yesterday night, I think, either Coronation Street or Emmerdale or something, and I couldn't be asked to watch it, so I thought, right, I'm going to plug in with an article. But this was a team of scientists. I think they were either from, so they might have been Dutch or they might have been Danish, actually, either. And they have come up, and a team of scientists have said a house can hold an energy, a negative energy. And the people who lived there or once lived there could be given this energy. Now, this I thought, oh yeah, all right, this is a team of scientists. So the habitat that we live in may not be as neutral as we perceive it to be. And obviously, if it's been a violent end or whatever, that can be passed on to people that move into the house. And I thought, yeah, that's good. And then they go on to say about Auschwitz, concentration camps, right? People will go there, report feelings of awful dread, awful negativity. So my question is, do you think that is what it is? Do you think it's an energy that's attached to the house? And if I give you my...
Would I think Joe's asking that question. Is it the house or the space?
It could be, I'm saying house, Joe, but it could be a venue. It could be any venue, theatre. Yeah.
Stone tape theory as well, which is
good, but they then went on to say this, like being a residual energy that lived there. And the scientists went into that, but it stops being residual or stone tape theory when people have communication with that spirit or entity that lives within the house. Then it doesn't become residual because you're communicating with that energy. So they've gone well into it, apparently. So
what is the question?
The question is, do we think that houses can hold an energy? So when you move into that house, it can affect you. It can get into you. It can cause, I don't know, poltergeist activity. It can cause this. It can cause that. Okay. So, and I believe I've lived in one of those houses where I felt dread. I felt negative. I could have quite easily done something stupid at one point. Very, very easily. I'm not going to go into too much detail. As I said before, the house is still going to be there. And so much so that I didn't particularly like my job at the time. But when I got to work, I was the happiest person in there. When I went home, when I eventually left that house, it was like everything was lifted off me. And if you go to these Uncanny or these podcasts, that's what everybody seems to be saying. It stops when they move out of the house.
I get everything that is, but I think we could play, a lot of questions are coming through here. I think, Matt, let's, the stone tape for energy within the walls.
I do agree.
Because places have been demolished and new dwellings are getting there and getting haunted.
Exactly.
Kim is agreeing. Steph Coulson, suppose could really depend on the history and what has happened. A traumatic experience would be very different to an energy brought in.
Yeah.
Heidi has lived in a haunted house as well. Did everyone in the house feel like you did, Si, or is it just a feeling like this?
Everybody in that house wasn't happy.
Have you watched? Yes, I've watched that. I watched that the other day.
Yes.
I watched that the other day, and yeah, I'm not sold on that by a long way.
I know. There's things we're not going to be sold on because
I think that's the biggest one of the.
But
That's why I don't think it's got much.
Some of these places, right? If I just go into some of these
But
places,
hold on, yeah. Right, let's get to the question, because a lot of comments are coming in. So, I think no, it's not a house that is currently there, Joe. It was a previous house.
yeah, no, not my house now. No.
But I think I do think yes, the house could own an energy. I think that exists, but I do think there's a Wendy. I totally agree that the place can affect you and the mood.
Yeah.
Okay, but I also think that I think if you're having if something is going on in your house that is traumatic to you, I think then your energy will then call upon the negative energies to surround you. I think you have to be a sort of a type of person. I think someone could quite easily, my as you just said, once you've leave the house, you've lifted. We would need to, for it to be a Stonewaller affected.
Yeah, I get
Proof. We would need, me personally would need, no, in my head, obviously you can't do this. A, I'd want to speak to the people that was there before you, and B, I'd want to be speaking to the people there after you.
Say you can't speak to the people before you because they're dead.
Yeah, but there would be
energy in that house.
But, yeah, but it could be also, yeah. So, but it's still, you could, if there was someone living, so many questions. I've got to stop somewhere, but please just
stop them. I've got a response on that, so I have got some responses.
Let me just finish. My point being is, we would need, if possible, a living person from previous, and possibly a living person from after you've left. Not you as it, but if we spoke to someone possibly, and this was the case, that they were that desperate to leave this house because they feel so negative and blah blah blah, I would like to speak before and after. Because if them people before say no, nothing was there, and the people after say nothing was there, then I think you could quite easily then put that to the person that was bringing the negative in.
Yes, I do agree that people could bring negative energy into a house, but I think a house can hold negative energy.
Yeah, but I think you have to be a certain person and a certain type of mood and a certain time of situation for that energy to come in to that property. I don't think that energy has, if you was to walk in there as it's different. I think you could split this right down the middle.
Yeah,
I think you could split this right down the middle of a non-spiritual person to a spiritualist person. I think if a non-spiritualist person went in there, I would say probably 85% of them non-spiritualist people would never feel a dicky bird. But I think if a spiritualist person was to go in there, I think you would feel something. And that would be more, you're more susceptible to be taking on energy. You'd be more susceptible, even if you don't know it. Because there was, even if I'm looking at your situation, this may have been prior to your spiritual awakening. You still had an ability to communicate with spirit. You just didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So you was going to be more susceptible to any energy, if it's negative or positive, than someone that was not negative.
I agree with what you're saying. I do agree with what you're saying. But the thing is that houses hold energy. That's the thing that sort of threw me a bit, and I still can't get that. So I could walk in a house tomorrow, yeah. So I moved out of here. My house is, I'm quite happy, and I'm not going to move out of it. But went into a house, and people have gone into these houses, and for the first 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, the houses have been fine. But then something changes.
But you could put that quite down to look at the Amityville Horror, probably
That's
one of the most graphic murder of children. But the people live there quite happily and nothing going on, and that would be as far as I would say there's worse situations,
but
but
move on, can't it? We know poltergeist can move on, so
but
poltergeist activity can be there for 4 months, 4 years, and then move on for no apparent reason. It can come in and it goes.
I think the poltergeist thing is.
What about the Conjuring House then? What would you say on that?
Well, I think that is. I don't think. My personal opinion is I don't think the house is haunted. I think the spirits haunt the house. I think they're free to go. I don't think they're trapped there. I don't think they're having a. Let's be. It's no different to me. It's like a spiritual fairground. If you can get all these places where the Conjuring House, I use that as an example, okay? People are going there to get spiritual activity.
Yes.
Now there could be some
but back when they first went there, they weren't.
Yeah, but no one. I don't know the case before the Perrons went there, and I take and let me if they were the catalyst of this energy coming into their property, where it's quite split how this is perceived. Obviously, Hollywood has taken the Perron house and made it into this dark, series. And when you actually speak to, and when you speak to her about it,
it wasn't all bad times.
It wasn't all bad times.
Yeah, but that's what a lot of these stories are. They're not all bad times. And I think the one I listened to, I can't even remember that really threw me. That the phone call that the bloke kept getting, and this isn't to do with the Conjuring House. This is a house in England. And he kept getting a phone call, and it still went on to, I don't know.
But for me, I think it has to have. I think it's like a fire. I think there has to be, obviously, what is it? Fuel, oxygen,
air.
Air?
No, fuel. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever the triangle is. Do you know what I mean? Whatever the triangle is, fuel,
one of them.
Fuel, material, whatever it is. I think you need catalysts for spirits. I don't believe they just go. I don't think they just. I think something needs to happen.
There was one bloke who was a skeptic, and he still is a skeptic. So he does not believe in spirit, and he is not about to believe in spirit. But something happened in one of these houses that affected his life at that particular time forever.
And he's not a believer.
No.
So then, what is he saying it is?
He doesn't know. It's something he can't explain.
Exactly. So that's paranormal in my eyes.
It's paranormal, but
if
not ghosts, he won't have it that it's spirit.
Well, then it's not a haunted house. Then in my eyes, if he can't call it a haunted house and it's not spirit, that's not a haunted house. And this is how I would. There's got to be. If he doesn't think it's a ghost, what does he think it is?
An experience that
he can't explain.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He doesn't believe in ghosts. Doesn't believe in afterlife. Nothing like that.
So then he must, in my eyes, he must think that's a technical issue.
Mm.
If he doesn't believe, if it's not okay, let's. If he doesn't believe, it can only be what let's put it in that. It can only be. Let's tarn everything with the same brush, with spirit. So poltergeist, evil, demonic, whatever. Yeah, and energy.
Yeah.
Or it can be extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
Or it can be a fault.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
do you see
Yeah,
where
I
I'm
get
coming
what
from?
you're
If
saying. I get what you're saying, but
he has to have something in his head that what he thinks it is, and would tell me that.
I don't
See
know.
that
I think the story goes that they did a particular board in the house. He wasn't on the board, but it spelt out his name. So he doesn't believe in it, so he wasn't getting involved in the board. And they asked who it was, and it said Harry. Yeah. And then he started, yeah, and then he started to get phone calls. So they say, "This phone call for you, Will." And he'd get to the phone, and the first time I think he heard the voice, he said, "Who is it?" It was Fuzzy, and he went, "It's Harry." And he kept getting messages from Harry, but I don't know what he thinks it is. I don't know what it is.
but as much as we don't know what it is, you would, if in my, I'm
He
sort
didn't
of.
want to investigate it. He didn't want to get involved. He said it changed him, which it probably did.
I
And
think
he still got phone calls 2 years later. This didn't go away.
I'm with Joe. Then he's in denial.
Of what though?
It's a ghost.
Of who though? He doesn't know Harry. So
But it
why
could
would
be his spirit guide.
Could be.
And this is what I'm saying. I think there has to be a line where we draw the conclusion to what is actually. I don't think you could put me into any house and it's going to be haunted. Doesn't matter if it's a new build. It doesn't matter if it's an old build. Because there's going to be energies there of the people that are around. It could be an energy there that it's been built on. You think of when the Wally estate, take the Wally estate, for instance, when we first started, we received quite a few emails regarding activity at the Wally estate, but it got knocked down, it got floored and rebuilt.
Yeah. And you would, yes, you do. Yes.
So
Same being with there's a place over in Chelmsford, Danbury Palace. I think that was another one.
Yeah. There is, I say, guys, there's so many questions that are coming in about this topic. We'll sort of try and go back. Did you say you had a theory of it, Simon? Have you?
No, I haven't got a
No.
theory. I just want people. I think my theory is a place, a venue, whatever, can hold energy, can hold negative energy. Also, it can hold good energy. I think some houses you're going will hold good energy, and you can feel it. If we go into a house, we can feel bad energy.
Yeah.
So I believe that. Yes, I do believe a house, a premises, a cinema, a theatre, but will hold an energy, and people that have died there, people that have worked there, people that have been there, I think their spirit remain there and can affect people when they go in. I think I was affected by a person that died in that house that I lived in. Yes.
Not to say, I don't want to say this is how it's going to sound. I'm not putting this to you, but could people use that as an excuse?
For what though?
To make that, not you, and I don't want it to sound like I'm putting you, because that's not what I'm saying.
No,
but
no.
say, for example, wife, husband, 3 kids move into a house.
Yeah.
All happy as Larry.
Yeah.
And is what happens, something untoward happens. I don't know. Wife, husband have an argument, festers, energy comes in, and then now we've got this negative.
Yeah.
Okay. and it keeps building because they're arguing, and that negative is growing because we've drawn it in. Them two people have drawn this energy in. May not be from the house. It could be from the outside. It could be from anywhere. Negative will start to draw in from anywhere it can find itself. It's a disease. It's a culture.
Yeah.
Now, that will grow. Where it's come from, it can grow. But you can also back it out of it if you start to bring positive back into your life.
Yes.
There could,
right, okay.
So I think the people, and for example, maybe, once again, a theory, say if one of them two had an affair, maybe, one of them had an affair or something like that, that's going to bring negative energy to one of them and put a divide in. It could be a protection against somebody rather than a negative.
Yeah, I get all that. I do get all that. And I get that part of it. And I get what you're saying. I do get all that. But when that had all happened, yeah, and only one person was living there, that's when it attacked even more. Even more.
Sorry, go again. Sorry, I lost you there.
There was only one person living there in the end, and that's when that energy attacked even more.
But then at that point, that person living there is at its last port of call. It's, if that energy went, what we're talking about on that thing, say if he did go with wife and kid and the wife and kid had moved out because they couldn't bear it anymore, he's never going to be positive about it. It's always going to blame what it's done at this point. It's always going to go back to that.
Yeah,
we've got so many comments. It keeps going. I do apologise,
go
guys.
to the comments first of all. Let's get someone in.
Right. I've never seen, guys, the thing slide down as quickly as it done. Let's start from where this is Matt has put the stone tape theory. I think this is very much in that bracket. I really do. I definitely do. Steph said it could depend on the history. I think we touched on that, obviously, about the Amityville horror and things like that. I think it can be, we look at the Enfield house as well. People are living there quite happily. Battersea one's been knocked down though, hasn't it? So
the Wales Farm, but apparently they're living there quite happy.
Yeah. So that says to me, even just looking at it, it says it's the people sometimes more than the house. Did everyone in the house feel like you did? Yeah, we've answered that one. We've answered that one. That was right. So look at Jay's place, never a quiet moment. And we just heard a big clonk in the kitchen now. Yeah, but you haven't just got a house, that you've got objects in that house. And this is what I was.
Yes.
And also how if you was just a plain Jane and didn't believe in the paranormal, your clonks and your clunks would just be expenditure of wood with the heat and everything, because that's how non-believers' brains work. Yeah. It would be upstairs, it would be downstairs. Because you are around it, it's different for you. Psychics say energy can't be lost, it transfers to another form of energy.
I do agree with that. Yes.
Joe has said, I hope your spell checker is working. It can affect you a lot. A person can suddenly feel the urge to alcohol if the energy is a former person who drinks a lot in life.
Yeah, agree. Can take on that.
I don't know necessarily on that one. Not to say anyone's wrong, because this is we have no wrong on this one. I'm not too sure. I think once again, I think it will pick on things that can be weak. If you're not a drinker, like me and Simon are not drinkers, I don't think that energy could necessarily put us into a drinking state.
It did me.
No, but
It did.
yeah, but now it couldn't.
Period of my life, it did.
Yeah, but you don't. I'm not. We're not going to push it because it could go down. It'll go down a different route. But we've got to put a situation behind that.
Yeah, okay.
We've got,
But-
and I don't want to do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know,
At that time though, yeah, I wasn't a drinker, but I did turn to drink. Yes, I did. And
Yeah,
it
but-
was, but I wasn't living there with anybody. I was on my own. It wasn't.
yeah, but then that's another thing that can coincide to that.
But you know,
If you're not good with
being
your
a
own
positive
company,
person, it wouldn't.
no, but sometimes people are not confident with their own company.
Oh, I am. I love it.
You know, no, but not
I talk to
every.
myself.
But now it's different to when you was back then. There's so many
I've
variables.
always been fairly confident with my own company. Always. Honestly.
Once again, every comment, my thing, I can't catch up with it. Mazzy's messaging in the dark. Why are you messaging in the dark? Turn a light on. The issue, if the people with hard are not open to it, you won't get the same reaction. Size open, and that's what my whole point.
Yeah. I do
to it.
agree. I do agree. But yes, I do agree. But I think it can still get to people even if they're not open to it.
But I think it would only get to people if something is happened.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think it will just happen. Look at the Perron. I use the Perron one quite loosely here. I know the mother and father split up.
After they left the house, though, wasn't it?
No. They split up while they was in the house, and they went their separate ways when they sold the house. It was over as the house was sold.
Right. Okay.
So what was there? Was it the spirit that caused that or something else, which we may never know because we don't know the backstory completely. There's a church in Hornchurch. Whenever I go past it, the hairs stand up. Get a feeling someone is watching me from the grounds.
What church?
St. Lawrence, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Yes, open people will sense an effect. Heidi has put, I can always feel that spirits when entering my home, whether good or bad.
Yeah.
That's my excuse, Heidi. Me too. Yeah, another one, the cage. But that's taken an interesting twist.
Yeah,
because
somebody said it's back
to a museum.
Yeah. So the person that went in there was a total non-believer, apparently, wasn't it?
Well,
And that's a museum, so something must have happened. You see, you're never going to keep it quiet. That's my whole point of it. I think if you've got something in a house, no matter if you put two non-believers in there, the house will win. That's what I'm saying. The energy.
We don't know what necessarily. We was just told they were moving in there.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, I don't think that's my point. Not necessarily the cage. I don't think if a house has got energy attached to it, I don't think you'll stop it, whether you're non-spiritual or the Pope.
I don't know. I think we have to bring it forward. I think we have to bring it forward. Andrea said she would move back in there. Hi James, welcome. So look, I've only got back. Look, I've only just got to the denial bit that I went back to. Kim said, "What house are we talking
about?" Loads of different houses, Kim. Loads of different houses. We're not talking about a particular one. We're talking about a house and energy's being attached to a house, premises, venue, whatever. So not one particular house. The one I've used, I was living in a house that had negative energy. 100%. I know, but
how that got there could be a totally different. I think that's the key to the question. I think that's the key to the whole question.
I always saw a man in that house. Always. Even when I first moved in there. And it was and obviously I wasn't like I am now. I wasn't, but I did see a man there that wasn't very nice, wasn't very pleasant.
So you're seeing as well. So that, you know, but I think because you're a spiritual person.
Yeah, but I wasn't using that gift, the gift that I've got now.
No, but I think spiritualist people hold that gift from the day they're
I
born.
was still
We
told
just-
things. Yeah,
The awakening, I think that is an awakening we have. Stuart Bushell. Hiya, Stuart. Sorry it's taken me so long to get to down the bottom. I've still got another inch to scroll down. In my spare time, I do a lot of leafleting locally. This means visiting many houses. As a non-spiritual person, I will say houses have a certain feeling about them. Could be because they are dark, etc.
Yeah, it could be. And probably the good houses that you leaflet, you'll just carry on leafleting because it wouldn't make you feel any different.
I think that, you know, I generally do. I think that's and this is what I'm saying. As much as you call yourself a non-spiritual believer, Stuart,
Yeah.
you are, because of the things you do. You watch this show, you come on events. There's an interest. That to me is a spiritualist person, an interest in the paranormal. It doesn't matter if you can hear or sense or see or don't see. It's an interest into it. Evening, Kev. Welcome to the show. Sorry, it's taken me 41 minutes to get to the comment, which is a first for everything. Hi, I definitely think the energy of a living place attracts the spirit. The most frightening place I witnessed shadow people and red eyes was at a nightclub in London. It had such a dark energy, I had to leave.
See, I think.
So it's. I think I don't. It's. I just don't. It's a very open side of things, isn't it? How was you affected, Joe? Did you become aggressive or make bad decisions through its influence?
I became very negative. I became withdrawn. I could have easily made a decision that I probably would have regretted for the rest of my life. Well, it wouldn't have been the rest of my life, but yes, I could have made a very, very bad decision. Yes, I could have done. But on the day that I was really, really thinking about that decision and what I was going to do, a spirit, and I can only say spirit, put its arm around me and told me not to do anything stupid. The next day I got up, it was like the start of my life again. And I think it was a couple of days after that, I left that house for good. And I actually never looked back. And if you was to ask me to go back to that house, I would tell you absolutely not. I've got no inkling, and I would never want to walk through that front door or back door again.
Once again, you know, we're not going to talk about it, but the background of that situation, I've put to that. But the thing is, as natural human beings here and logic brain, and let's say you wasn't a spiritual person at that time, I think if that happened to you now, you would have took the positives rather than the negatives, because the last thing that house did for you was to put an arm around you. Doesn't matter, because you never believed at this time.
I did believe, but I didn't.
You say, let's say, you know, let's see that horrible word that I don't like, the gift. You know, I don't like that because everyone's got the gift, the open channel to spirit. You wasn't in that open channel where you are now.
I wasn't, but
as a positive, the last thing that house did was to stop you do what you was going to do.
It wasn't the house that stopped me doing it.
But you wouldn't know because you wasn't.
I know who stopped me doing it. I know who stopped me doing it.
But
I absolutely know, because I was told afterwards, not by me,
yeah, but it's what
by somebody.
If that house wanted you to do it, it would have done it.
No way.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You think of the Amityville Horror, it did it. If
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, if that house wants you to do it and really wants you to do it, it would have done it.
Okay.
And do you see what I'm trying to
I do see
what
what
I'm
you're
trying to
saying.
say? I'm not.
I do see what you're saying, but
I think if there's a pure energy in that house, and this is why I say I think we look at the cases that are famous throughout time. I think we can borderline say really what is going on loosely with confidence that the case. I think we look at the Lizzie Borden house as well, the Amityville Horror house. I can't necessarily say that we've had a house over here that has caused the end of anything of anybody. I would say
we know. Yeah, we know.
I don't quite know. Obviously, Bawley doesn't exist anymore. Do you link Bawley to that? But is what I'm saying is, can we get caught in the moment with it? And it's easy. Not can we use our own way of thinking where we let's talk about let's finish off the questions because I know where I'm going with this. I think it is possible. I don't quite know. We've probably missed the conversation somewhere.
I think that means
okay. Yeah, I say I'm not saying I think you have to be in that frame of mind as well. I think you have to have, for me, you have to have alcohol in the house for that to happen. For me. But yes, I made you drink, stay up late and sing Let's Get On It.
No, that was a bad influence 20 years later.
And this episode about the alcohol was in telly when experiencing where people talked about it happened to them. As I say, I generally sit on the fence with that one, Heidi. I really do. An American man brought the cage. He said he was a skeptic. But I still don't know what his intentions were for it. Ain't been, it's probably made anyone who bought that house was making money, trying to make money out of it. In my eyes, skeptic or no skeptic. Steph has put, couldn't a person be affected differently depending on residual energy and actual spirit? Pardon me. Skeptics would also blame priming. Is that right?
Yeah,
priming
depending on where they are. Could a person be affected differently depending on if residual energy and actual spirit? Skeptics would blame priming depending on where they are. So are you saying there, Steph, that a skeptic would blame you because of the stories that are known about the place?
Potentially. I think that's the bigger cases.
But the person that are doing these studies are scientists. Now, you know what scientists are like. They're very, very hard to convince. Very. And everything's got to be black and white.
Yeah, but that's changing. That's massively changing at the moment. These scientists are changing and they're confusing me. That's confusing me even more. I'm with you. With science, it has to be black and white.
I mean,
but
famous scientists out.
Yeah.
But it was hard work. It was hard work.
But it was a good hard work.
Yeah.
Because we got some of them to.
Yes, we did.
Believe.
We got smelling burning flesh, which was
exactly. Yeah. That was just them when we put them in the cellar.
No, that was me. Years a lot in the
arm. I've known you many years, and I don't recall you mentioning the house.
I don't very often go back to it, Joe. I really don't often go back in my mind. That it's not a period of my life that I like very much. In listening to what I've listened to, it's made sense this week. If you can get my meaning there, it's sort of not brought it back because that's the wrong way of looking at it. But when people said about the house and having an energy in it, then I believe, yes, I believe I was affected by an energy of a house. I know it's not something that I really would ever want to go back to, and it's not really a thing that I would remember or want to remember. So
I think we have to. I think he has never rented it out since.
okay,
So who knows? We heard it's been turned into a museum. Someone
Yeah.
told us, but I don't know where that.
he turned into a museum.
Yeah, someone has told us it's been turned into the St. Joseph's Museum.
Yeah. As your job of planner, Kim.
Well, we've been there. We've been there. We know what that place is like. Do you know?
I'd like to go and have another shot at it, though.
Yeah, I think I'd like to have a shot of it now. We know. We've got Phil. I don't think that's our Phil.
No.
I've never seen this Phil. Welcome to the
Hi,
show.
Phil.
Welcome. It's nice to have you along, and thank you for your question as well. If I'm out at a restaurant or pub, for example, sometimes feel that my experience of a night out can be affected by a general feel or energy of the building in a positive or negative way.
Yeah, I do tend to agree with that. Yeah, I think some nights can be affected.
But then that goes that
Again, yeah.
I think trust me. I do like to play the devil's advocate on. Joe will bring this one up before I even say it. But I think we have to give continuity to the balance of where this can generally be. I think you have to bring let's just go down the not the skeptical side of it, but probably what not I don't want to say how it sounds because it's not me putting it like this, but some of these cases can be definitely put down to the person trying to blame something and using it as an excuse, using it as something that isn't there, and rather just facing facts. And I'm not, Simon, this is not aimed at you. I don't know how to put it.
What I'm saying to you is,
I think for any story, is what I'd like to know is in any story, if someone come to me like that, okay, straight away we did. We got called to a house a few weeks ago. One of the questions I asked them people in that house was, "Have you argued?" The answer was no, and at that point, I can draw my conclusions pretty much where I go with it quite easily. I generally believe that if it was a single person living in the home, and they have these experiences, I would treat it different. We look at, there was a massive study done between depression and the demonic. Massive.
Yeah.
With science and not with science. And they both went toe to toe that the demonic is strongly linked with depression. So if we as a human feel, and this is where it could go either way. If I become depressed, I have to try and work out, is it my life that is making me depressed? Or is it spirit that is making me, or the demonic that is making me depressed? And that's where the line comes for me. And if we are depressed and we have anxiety levels and we have going through issues in our life that could be life-changing, is that not bringing on negative? Because you're dealing with a negative.
Agree with what you're saying, and I do agree with what you're saying. Yes, it could be. But a lot of these stories have not been told for years and years. I've not told this story for, well, I don't think I may have told maybe 2 people this story in my life till
But
tonight.
then, but
And
then,
most of these are going back to 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
you've just told your story to 50,000 people.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I've chosen to do it this time. I've never chosen to do it before because it's something got to me and knows what I was listening to this week.
But then I get, and that's what I'm trying to sort of put
If
in.
it's all for show, then your
But-
stories will be out within minutes. Like, I don't know, let's say like.
But I think you're quite right, and your entitlement not to talk about it because it was a dark place in your life.
Yes.
Why would people? And this is what I'm saying with these stories coming out. Why would people talk about times when they wasn't good? I don't. That's and
Yes,
that's.
I mean, it links back to. It's something that obviously still sits in my mind, isn't it? And
Yeah.
something's played on my mind this week for me to speak about it.
But then, if you, I can guarantee you now, probably if we had a psychologist or one of them, no. But if we had, but if we had a psychologist that was to analyze you on that moment of that thing, perhaps that was you shutting that final door on that part of your end of your that you don't need it anymore. It's time to experience it because it's fitted right. You've got your answers.
Maybe.
And it won't affect you now. Maybe if you let this go 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it may have affected you.
Yeah, I don't know actually.
I'm not a psychologist, but I could just imagine what a psychologist would say. Let's see. So once again, as we're going more and more. Aren't we all agreeing that energies can be attached to a space or building?
We are, but then we're saying what sort of energies. I think, Joe. We, different types of energies, like residual, like could the energy in that building attach to the person going in? Because I really think that's what happened in my life. I really think it was spirit, a negative spirit in that house attached to me. Before the minute I walked in there, not when the bad things started to happen, the minute I walked into that house. I could even probably take you back to when I knew it happened.
And that was this is your spiritual sense now talking.
Yes.
Because you're getting your answers from spirit.
Yes. And it's something that this week it has come into my head because of the stupid podcasts I've been listening to. But no, they're not. They're very good. Uncanny by Danny Robbins. Listen to them. Brilliant.
I'm just going to cut to this one quickly. Dead Friend Redemption. Hiya, Dead. Just for anybody who is, if you go and give him a follow over on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, I did a podcast with him on which got released on Wednesday. So please go and download it, have a listen, see what you think about it. And I do believe that the video version went live on YouTube tonight. So if you head over to Dead Friend Redemption and have a look, you'll see the video of the podcast released on his show. And I don't know if he's still listening or still watching, but we do need to get him out because I think it would be the best hour walking through a forest of our lives, because he is very jumpy and he's not too keen on it. And we would show what we're all about. So as we've said, if we can get a lot of viewers, he is helping us try to get to our TikTok number. We are 51 away, I think. 51 away. Has anybody helped us? Should we just have a look? Come on. Come on. Give us something. It's all we need is one more. No, we're still on 699. We're still on 699. So please go over and support Dead Friend Redemption there for us. Okay. Right. So Wendy, in my first flat, I know there were multiple energies, and there was one that I would pick up on that would make me go out and not come home until Paul come home from work. I could not be there on my own in my house. Now we have things here, but they don't make me feel the same way.
Right. Well, the thing in that, Wendy, is I would say you've probably got used to spirit, and you now working with spirit a lot more. I know you are, because you come out and ghost dance with us. But I would also say that in my first flat, I lived in Astra Close, which was the old airman quarters in Elm Park, and there were multiple energies there, and that wasn't a very pleasant place to be on your own either, because they walked the corridors and you could hear things walking the corridors, and there was only 2 flats where I lived, and the corridors weren't very nice places to go down. And I wouldn't go out. To be quite honest, if I heard the footsteps, I'd put me quilt over my head and not wait, just wait until the morning. But now I'll be out there looking at it. I'll be out there investigating it. So yeah.
And this is, I think, is what I'm trying to get to.
Yes, I know. What
I think this is where I think I'm trying. This is where my brain wants my head to go. Is that at certain points, yes, I do believe this. I do believe in the stone tape theory, but I loosely agree with the stone tape theory. I do believe that the energies do pick up on the walls. The energies will soak into the walls of them houses. How that really works with modern day energy, I know that stone is a block. We think most of the new houses are wooden and hollow and stuffed with crap in the middle. So how I do get it a little bit, but stone tape theory, I'd loosely agree with what is going on, that they hold energy, but do they affect us in a way to make us?
Do you think energy can be transferred into somebody?
Yeah, because that goes by trance.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't think.
Do you think if somebody, let's strip it back to the bare basics. If a person moves into a house, whether it be a good spirit or a negative spirit, it doesn't have to be, we're saying negative, it could be a good spirit. But a good spirit wants to attach to them, and they're spiritually open and aware, it can do so. Or
if they're spiritually open and aware.
Or yes, that's first one.
Yeah, I believe, yeah. If you went into a house, if they're not spiritually open, no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I think there is a certain, not to say that, I say that blasé. I don't mean it as bluntly as it was. I didn't mean it. I think I have to be, for me to say at the moment, I would say no. But in every case that I would deal with, I would be open to a notion of it.
You see, I think we've got to be a bit careful there what we say, because at the end of the day, we do have, when we do like a board, we can have people getting messages that are not even on that board and are not spiritually aware. They're there as just to make the numbers up, or they're there just with their partners, and then they get the message.
Yeah, but but then that's, to me, that is spirit desperately getting across.
Right. Just, perhaps they might want to do this in the house.
But then is what I would say is that person in that house, spirit board is an open tool. You're seeing it.
Yeah.
But I think a person, you're seeing the glass move. You're seeing, but if a non-spiritual, non-believer, I think you could have put Grandad in any house on this planet. It could have been the most evilest house on this planet, and he would have not known any different.
God rest his soul, though. He was scared of something in a forest, and he wouldn't. And I'd never got to find out what that was.
But that could
He
be.
won't tell me now.
But the thing is, it could be a numerous things.
No,
it may not be a ghost. It may be a extra.
No, he.
But it could be extraterrestrial. It could have been a Bigfoot. It could have been numerous things. I'm trying to sort of control the experiment in my head. I'm trying to control the experiment.
I do know what you're saying, and yes, if you took Granddaddy in a house, he wouldn't. But then, why did he go to a forest and get scared crapless? Because,
but once again, we've had him telling me,
yeah,
I can't judge it because I've sat here and watched videos on haunted woods. I've been to woods where aliens have been. I've been to woods where we believe extraterrestrials have lived. We've been in woods where you and Sandra have been manipulated by extraterrestrial technology. That's what I would be needing to know. Grandad, what did you see? Was it a little green man or was it a transparent energy? I think, and he's not going to tell you because
he never did.
Yeah. And that's what confuses me to it all.
Yeah. So that's what I don't know.
But I would say that, in my opinion, 99.9% of the time, that a non-spiritual person or a non-believer would not pick up any energy. And I would believe that any spiritualist person or non-spiritualist person who starts to have a downturn in their journey in life, whatever that would be, loss of a job, loss of a child, loss of a loved one that's close to them, divorce, an affair, or whatever, I think then that will invite a negative into that house, and then that will fester into that notion. And if you can't claw yourself out of it, then it's doing it.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. Yeah,
I tend to see it a little bit differently. I do tend to see it a little bit differently because I think there are negative energies in that house that could affect you, and will be there when you go in. Not anything's caused it. Not anything caused it. I think you've gone in, and it's grabbed hold of you. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah, potentially.
And when you leave that house, and if you listen to all of this stuff, that does seem to be the gist of it all. Once they've left the house, it's okay.
And that's where I would say that whole comment there would make me even side more to the sense of it was the person, depending on what went in after. Because if that negative has drawn that much energy off that person, it's winning. So the next time that person walks into that house, or not a new victim, I hate to say it like that, the new victim walks into that house.
I think you're dead right.
That energy is now quadrupled its energy
be dead right
to hit another person.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then that's why I'm saying, if I'm taking your case, I want to speak to the person who went in after, because they said, no, it was a lovely house, beautiful, nothing went on here. Then I would be, and that's how I would be looking at it. Not your case, but if I was some,
I think it transferred somewhere else. I do think it transferred into another person there, but I'm not going to make that comment on here.
Yeah. More comments are coming in on this, so it's obviously a hot topic tonight. And that it affects us all, but others affected more if they are open-minded or a well-oiled
spiritualism. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is. That must be where Dead was saying hi. Hi, Dead, again. Sorry, I can't get to every comment at the time. They're just going too fast for me to carry on, and we've got to try and talk in between. The cage is not a museum, but it is on the museum website. Just looked at it. Thank you, Heidi's Kev says, I like the term well-oiled in spiritualism.
Yeah, that's very good.
If you are in a public place, club, bar, or restaurant, how would you identify an energy from the building from an energy that has been brought in from a customer? Now, that's a good question.
That's a bloody
Sergeant.
good question. Okay. Put it to your place of work. Put it to your place of work. How's that stuff got up on that roof?
I don't know what you're talking about, so I can't comment on this one.
The stuff that's up on your roof that walks along them rafters, how's that got into where you work? Because it shouldn't be there, should it?
Yeah, I need to read the question again. If you are in a public place, club, bar, and restaurant, how would you identify an energy from the building from energy that has been brought in from a customer?
Well,
I think you'd need to be as in the term, well-oiled in spiritualism. I think you'd need to be a very spot-on energy, and I think if you was in the moment, say if you worked in the bar or restaurant and you're delivering, and you are a spiritualism person, and you're taking the plate to certain areas, and you feel different, and you feel different, and you feel different. I think come the end of the night, when you do your locking up or sweeping up, and you go back to that table and you don't feel it, you would then assume that it's with the customer, because where I work and where you work, Simon, and obviously where Sandra works, the energies that you are dealing with.
Yes. Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So if anything new comes in, it comes in. And, when people walk into the shop and ask for, for this and for that, and someone's with them, the difference, someone's walked in. So I think you have to be a well-oiled spiritualist to get to that question, to be fair. I don't think a near mortal, I don't want to say it like that, someone who doesn't believe or anything would know any different.
I don't think they don't believe. It's just that they don't. I think there's a lot of people still scared of it, to be honest. I think that it's a lot of frightened of opening their minds to it.
I am roughly about 15 minutes behind on all comments, guys. I really do apologize, but I'm now reading one from 8:55. So I do apologize. All right. So I do apologize, but it's a great hot topic. So we'll just go with it. Could turn that negative into a positive, Simon. This spirit wrapped its arms around you. It was there, step forward, and that's what my point was being.
Yes, I do agree with that. And that person, that I was told later by a very well-oiled spiritualist. That is actually what happened to me on that particular night, and that was from somebody that I trusted, and I know Russell trusted to the hilt. So that was one of the persons that I told this story to, and she told me who that was, wrapping their arms around me. So yeah,
and there you go. Yes, thanks for sharing, Dark Scythe. That's Joe. Red has been back in again. I watched the Uncanny, brilliant. I watched Uncanny, brilliant. So it must be a TV show now as well.
Oh, if it is, that's good.
That's Danielle Froud. If that is a TV show, or you listened, maybe. Dead is live on YouTube tonight at 11:30. It's a bit late for me, but I'll try. Danny Robbins released an Uncanny book this week too.
Good.
I don't believe the Stone Tape theory. It's the space I feel, as Joe says. Take away bricks and energy of residual energy is still there. The bricks through will always tag or hashtags with the psychosomatic skills of energy is sent sensed. Yeah, I do, but I still think that there's certain things that will take on energy. That's why I said loosely I use stoke tape theory. So, take this bolt, for instance, this
Not
bolt,
that James Bolt again.
Jay's bolt from HMS Warrior.
Yeah, they're being knocking in the kitchen now.
All right. So, that holds energy from there, but does it hold spiritual energy? No. Or maybe not. But it holds energy from that location because that's where it's come from. That was put in by a person building that ship. So I do think it holds energy, but loosely I believe in stoke tape theory. Yes, probably Yvonne.
Yes, yeah.
No, there is no TV series. Listened. Okay, listened.
Yeah, but Danielle, he does. Apparently, they do a very good live show that I'm going to try and get to see one of them.
I think they do it normally, didn't they?
They do it after like one of the big things, like after like the Battersea or the Welsh Farm, and they do like a theatre show. And apparently, they're very, very good. So I'm going to try and get to one of those. I'd like to see one of those.
Right, hold on a minute. Hold the back page here. Hold the back page, guys. Right. There was a post on Twitter. The series starts 9 p.m. Friday the 13th on BBC Two and iPlayer.
Woohoo!
Okay, so the Uncanny TV. So here it is. The new trailer appears. It's on YouTube. If you want to go over to YouTube, Uncanny on the BBC. Are you a believer or a spooky septic? I don't want it to play because it would make a noise. What was it? Let's have a look. Danny Robinson. Yeah, it's on. It's going to be from ghostly phenomena to UFOs, the Battersea poltergeist. Danny Robinson forgets real life stories and paranormal encounters. All our TV channels are available. Blah blah blah. Okay, so it is coming on Friday the 13th.
Wow, that's good.
Okay. Don't know why I googled it, but I did, and I think I might probably saw something about it. Let's have a look. Next year, I'm off to the Ambassador Theatre in London to see the play of the Enfield. I said that. There's also a film. There's a film being made about the Enfield poltergeist as well, coming out on Netflix, I believe, as well. So this is obviously taking it's now coming to the forefront.
We're never going to agree on that one.
No. I read that book and it made me even more of a believer that it was the biggest crock of going.
Well, yeah, but you say that, but me and Paul have both read that book, and
yeah, that just nailed home. We've got a haunted house, and the first place we go to, that was the opening statement. The first place we go to, the papers. Can't be that bothered then, can you? Why don't you go to a church? Why don't you go to a spiritualist? Why don't you go to...
You haven't read that book fully. You need to read the book. Anyway, we won't go down that one because I disagree with you. You disagree with me.
But why go to the papers first?
Yeah, I know you're going to get that point in, but did you read the whole of the book?
Yeah, from cover to cover. I know they had people, they went to church, and I know that, but that just come a secondary motion. But that would be surely if in any safer fear against the potential poltergeist, why the papers?
Well, we're going to beg to differ on that.
I don't get why the papers. That would be me. It would be straight to someone that could help me. The papers don't help me apart from that.
You're listening to the Battersea poltergeist who did exactly the same thing.
No, but they went to the
papers. They went to the Daily Mirror.
Not first.
Yes,
not first. They went to that bloke first.
Right,
and he went to the papers.
I don't think we should argue because it's not a good thing.
I don't argue. It's just a debate. I don't argue. I've got no argument on it. Whereas Ambassador Theatre, I say I'll
Yeah,
watch
I'm gonna go and see
anything.
it, Stuart. You know, draw your own conclusions. I think it's going to be a bit like Marmite because people agree with it, people disagree with it, but there's got to be something in the story. I mean, if we agree with like the Conjuring, if we're agreeing with that, I can't see why we'd have any difference in the Enfield. But hey ho, what do I know?
Uncanny is coming to a TV. It's
Good.
coming. We've got
Yeah,
that.
Steph, well done.
How would you recommend improving your skills? I've been a couple of your events and I pick up stuff, but I don't know how it happens, and I doubt I will.
I doubt what I get. Meditation, Danielle. Meditation. It's the only way, really. I think sharpening your skills and keep doing what you're doing. You're looking for things. You're seeing things. You're hearing things. The torch. Look at the torch, Danielle. The torch was working for you. That torch wasn't working for me. That torch at the school event was working for you. So you're communicating with spirit. Just remember that.
And it's called, what is it, Claire Guston or claircognizance? Claircognizance. And I doubt what I get is because of the logic brain.
Yes.
It's all that is. It's you doubt it because it's logical. It's logic to doubt.
Yeah.
And just accept what you're getting, and then you're there. You know, I agree with Simon 100% of your meditations. You must meditate.
And people say they can't, and people say they fall asleep. That's good enough. That's actually good enough. If you fall asleep, you're still in that zone. You're still in that zone, even if you fall asleep. I do it. I fall asleep, but I do it in the bath, so I don't often fall asleep like that. But if I was to meditate in bed, I would fall asleep. I know I would.
Yeah, that's quite easy to do, isn't it? Worst thing to do probably in bed. Do you know what I mean? You're comfortable, you're cozy. It'd be lovely, you know.
But I do pick stuff up. I do get answers in between that time of going to sleep and being asleep.
I did try and fell asleep. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
That's all right. It's good.
If you do struggle with meditation, then change it to open eye meditation and put a candle in front of you.
Or that torch. Put your torch in front of you and concentrate on that.
Yeah, but if that starts to flicker, then that will distract you from what you try not to distract. Meditation is very, very simple. You just have to put your mind to it. If you are structured and if you make sure that you do it, you know, a lot of people say, "Yep, I'll do it tonight." Don't do it. But you set a time, and everyone will start. Oh, let's start off by doing 10 minutes. No. Start off by doing 2, 3.
Yeah.
Maximum for the first week, 5 minutes. That's all you have to do, just to distract yourself from it. It's very, very simple. And when people say they can't, it's because they're stopping it more than anything.
Yeah.
You have
next
to
comment down. Your next comment.
Oh, what's that? I didn't see that. What's the next? Kim, I start thinking about jobs and housework that I could be doing. But that's your logic brain. That's logical brain that's kicking in. But people think they have to sit there and do a 20-minute, half-hour meditation. No, not at first. No, it's always it's just 2 minutes. Very simple. You don't even have to close your eyes. You just sit there with the telly off and just forget about it. And it's that process of putting your things, like Kim said, she's about housework and jobs. Box, kick them out. And they'll keep coming back in, but it's what you have to keep doing is putting them back in the box and kicking out. Back in the box, kicking out.
I used to use the telly screen. Imagine the blank telly screen, and any time something come on that screen, I'd just wipe it out so it went back to blank.
Turn it off.
To do it. Yeah,
that's a great idea.
It was a turn it off. Yeah, gone. And every time a picture come back off, but then you do train your brain to do it, and it does come like second nature.
It does. It is very much second nature. Very much. Meditation becomes a part of it.
Yeah.
And there's times that I don't know about you, Simon, but sometimes when you do events and things like that, when you're actually communicating with spirit at that moment, you're in that slight meditative state,
Oh yeah.
and you don't hear anything else. That's, if you're telling, what, you've got this energy here,
Yeah.
a Mal. So you're not listening to too many people that you can't hear the voices. You're just giving the information.
Yes.
That is slight meditation state. It's not about closing your eyes and closing. It's about separating your outside world to
and switching noise and everything off round you to get that spirit communication so you can hear it. Yeah, I do that quite a lot at events.
When I first learned meditation, Yvonne said the best way to go and do it is sit by a really busy road.
Yeah.
Sit by a massively busy road and just concentrate.
Yeah, and play loudest music. Play the loudest music you can.
It's all about just separating
your
daily life to a couple of minutes of something different. It is very simple, but it's just donked. It's getting that structure in place. So, but it's a great question. Have we got any more other questions, guys? We've had a lot of questions come tonight.
That's very good, actually. Really good. Really good.
I don't know if we're pushing it by having more questions or anything like that, guys, because I think we might have questioned you all out. But Kev has put, it helps to write down what you might see or experience in meditation as well.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Kev. Everybody should have like a journal.
Can anyone actually help me find my journal? It's a blue synthetic. No, it's a dark blue synthetic book. It's got a tube in it where you put a pen down the side, and I've written everything in it, and it's gone missing.
What
and I can't
everything in it.
Well, everything that's all next year's events. I've got notes in it from other things that I need to transfer to another book. I've got prices in it.
Is it?
Huh?
Not a spiritual center.
Has it got a tube in it?
I've seen a book like it. It's got
like a little blue bit on the corner, and it's got a plastic tube down the side of it. Like the art. Like the what do you call it? The back of the book, the spine of the book. It's got a plastic tube and you can put a pen in it.
I'm sure I've seen something down the spiritual.
I'm hoping it is. I think I've put it somewhere. I don't think it's lost. It's definitely not lost like my wallet was lost, but I've put it down somewhere, and I know it would. I thought it was in my bag, but it's not in my bag.
It might be in the spiritual center because I've seen a blue book in there.
Yeah, it's like a dark blue though, like a real dark blue.
I'll have a look in the morning. I've seen it. Yeah, I have. It might not be it, but I know I've seen a blue book down there.
Yeah.
Has it got chakra stuff in it?
Might have. I've got loads. It's to be fair, it's more of a working book. It's more to do with like the running of things more than my other book. But yeah, write it down. Hyde says I kind of meditate when praying to divine, and sometimes I fall asleep while doing it in bed.
Yeah, so do I, Hyde. So do I.
To be fair, I just put my head on the pillow and I'm normally gone. So I don't think I would.
I go and I do try and say all my healing stuff, and do quite a lot more, and then pray to the greater good, and then I've usually gone by the end of that. That's probably about half hour in.
I'm not even that clever. Did you ever find out what the light Si saw on the road a couple of months ago?
We've never found out. But Sandra, when I took her home, also saw the same light, Dean, as we were driving home. We did pull in there. We walked into this part where we think it's coming from. One way it's very comfortable to walk, the other way isn't. And I'm sort of trying to track it back now because there's an old sort of derelict house there that we can't get into. But I think it's got something to do with that. And I can't quite work it out yet, but I'm still trying. But then usually something else comes up and we go and look at that. But no, it is.
It is. So it distracts itself.
It's a case that you never get to look to investigate what you need to investigate because something comes along and you're doing that. So, but yes, I will. We're definitely going to try and revisit it. And it could be also connected to Radar Hill, where I need to go. So one day we'll get out. Haven't seen them again yet since. But then again, it's more
still
sunny.
light, isn't it? Still
Yes.
light.
Yes, it's probably going to start happening again. But me and Sandra saw it. Me and Mrs. A saw it going home. We pulled over and we turned around. Nothing. It had gone again.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I stopped. Sometimes I come up that way. I did park there the other day because I thought I did see something on the side of the road that resembled my wallet, but I got out there and I parked there, but it wasn't. And I had a quick sort of nosy in there. But you're sort of right. It doesn't sort of, not to say it doesn't, but you don't have an urge to walk much further past that gate.
No. And if you start to walk the wrong way round, it's awful. It's awful. So there's something there, but
something's really affecting my eyes. I don't know what that is. Yeah, no, not at the moment. It's a short and
I will let you know as soon as we do because other people have asked that question to me as well.
So it does really look like, guys, that you really, really enjoyed the show tonight. I think me and Simon have really enjoyed the show tonight. But time has flown on that one because it's quite a, I suppose, an open book, really, isn't it? That question.
It is, and I don't think you could ever specifically answer it.
No.
But if people start to if Uncanny is going to be like the podcasts, it will look.
It looks like it.
You will start to question things. I questioned everything. I do now question everything.
Ivan, could a negative energy come from the subconscious interpretation of an enclosed space, a house, as an unsafe or threatening to our well-being?
Yes. Yeah. Enclosed space.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think that's how I probably see it a little bit. From our, we're taking a negative energy that's coming into somewhere that is a safe place.
Yes,
and thinking it's bad, and sometimes it's not. We've dealt with a couple of customers like that over the last couple of weeks. Called us in, wanted us to help, and actually there was nothing we could really do because it was too nice. It was just an interpretation of what they were seeing to what we were seeing, and wasn't open-minded about it, I suppose. And that was, that open-mindedness is, and a closed-mindedness is scary, isn't it? So yeah, I do think it could have an effect.
Yes,
I do. It's always a good show, guys. I've enjoyed it, Heidi. Tonight has been a good listen. I must set a timer for the future lives, as I always forget. This is the problem with Facebook at the moment, guys. the notifications are not going out. They're not going out to tell us that we are live or anything like that, which is a bit annoying. But there's not much, to be fair, I can do about it. I wish we could, but we can't. Hopefully that soon we'll be live on TikTok as well, which we can integrate as well to this show. Bit different, I know, but then that hopefully will, we're going to get chucked off of YouTube because YouTube don't like mentioning that word. So I better hush my mouth out on that. I've done that once. And we
Don't say it. Oh, right, okay, yeah.
All right. They're like the arch enemies at the moment because I think it's getting they don't like each other. Just ask Red about that. Dead about that. He's had issues with them as well. So I think we're going to end the show on a high, to be fair. I don't think we're going to spend the next 30 minutes waffling because it'll be just pointless because it's been such a great show and I don't necessarily want to stumble across the line. So if you haven't got any more questions, guys, we'll give it a couple of minutes for questions. If you've got any questions or anything like that that you want to put to us for the next, minutes.
I found another place. Kim, that I need you to look at. Are you ready for this? It's called, I'll spell it for you because it might be easier because my Italian's not up to much. It's called POVE GLIA Island in Italy.
And how do you think it is? How do you think it's said?
I think it said Poveglia.
And what's it about?
Well, it's a site between Venice, the Venice Lagoon, and the Lido. It's a small island where mainlanders fled to seek refuge from the invaders. But the island's full of ghosts and nobody will take you there. I'd love to get there. It's totally abandoned, off-bound to most visitors. Even if you're allowed to get on the island, you'll be hard to find somebody willing to take you, as many locals won't step foot in it.
It's a leper colony.
So I'd like to go there.
Millie just follows you on TikTok. It's a 700. We still need 50 more. 50 more.
Thanks, Millie. Yes, that's pretty good, Kim, though, isn't it? I'll get you some interesting places. I'd just like to thank, it was Jane. She was from up north. I think she worked for a haunted company. I can't remember who, but she gave me some really good places today, and hopefully that'd be for a future show.
Have we ever been
to there, mate?
What's the one we went to? Silver End, wasn't it?
Yeah. They won't let you on there, Dean. We have inquired, and it's a no-go. So, unfortunately.
Kim has asked an asylum. That's where sent to die and buried there. No one will go there. They drop you off and run.
Exactly, Kim. That's right up our street. No maximum guests.
Good night, Kev. Off to bed.
Good night, Kev.
Hope you feel better soon. What's that? Hold on. There's another message just come in there. Ask Simon about his ninja.
My ninja's very good.
Go to the House of Commons. That's a real. Just gave you a 5 on. Thank you ever so much, Millie. That would be, brilliant. We've got to the 700, 50 more, 50 more. So thank you ever so much. You wouldn't get off the island, Simon.
Brilliant.
So no, yeah, we'll go anywhere we can within reason. Within reason. If the locals don't take us, then
We'll get a
we're
boat.
swimming.
Yeah, we know we'll get a boat. We'll hire a boat.
Yeah,
One of these little pleasure cruises.
yeah.
You can drive
I know
one
what-
there, will you?
I'll drive a
Bring
boat,
the
but I
drop.
don't know. Yeah, but then how far is it? That's what I'd be asking.
Hey, don't look that far on this picture. No. I can't show you the picture, but look.
Oh, you could swim.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I think it is time for us to love and leave you. I think we've had a good show tonight.
Oh, look at that.
My other half is I get to take us by helicopter.
Yes. I like it.
So good. So we're going to say good night, guys. So please, it might be next week, it might be the following week. I don't know, but it'll be the big reveal show in the next couple of weeks. There will be Wendy's driven a boat up the Norfolk Broads.
Yeah, that's all right.
I've got a Lilo, so maybe that will work. Maybe a Lilo will work. But no, thank you ever so much for everyone that has joined us tonight. It's been a really, really good show. It's been really your insights, your questions, your everything like that, guys. Massively appreciate all your questions because it's made the show very, very simple tonight.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, without all that, absolutely brilliant. So I will say take care to everybody. Thank you for everyone that has joined us over on Pulse Talk Radio tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the show as much as we have. Please make sure you're giving us a follow on all platforms, guys, on all our social medias over on Pulse Talk. Really, really appreciate it. Take care, everybody.
Tomorrow, Poppy.
Yeah. I think I've probably got the I could probably play out the jingle, I think. Bear with me.
With over 20 years in the field, Essex Ghost Hunters are proudly introducing Cyrus Spiritual Connections, a place for all your spiritual needs, from tarot cards to crystals. Even if you want some spiritual advice, pop down and visit us at the Whitetown Garden Centre, Picken Acre, Chelmsford, CO3 4LR. And don't forget to trust the process.
Oh, brilliant.
See? I even got to worry about that bit, so I was all right. I didn't have to forget. I didn't have to worry, but
yes, pop in and see me. I'm there tomorrow.
All right. Make sure you do. Take care, everybody. Stay safe and keep it paranormal.
See you later, everyone.
Thank you for every single one of you that has joined us over on Facebook and YouTube tonight. Really, really, really appreciate it. Probably one of the best shows that we've done for a long while. The interaction with you guys.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, and really, really, your interaction is quite important when it's us talking because we can't break the questions. So, and sometimes it's very hard not to sort of repeat yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, with your questions keep coming in, and your opinions on the matter, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you ever so much. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you all next week.
See you next week.